We will now create a secret with IBM entitlement key. This particular secret is required for pulling some of the IBM Cloud Pak specific container images from the IBM entitled registry. To do that, let's first log in into Container Software Library using this particular link. If you are not logged in, it will ask for your IBM credentials. Just enter them, and once you do it, you will be able to access your entitlement key here. This is the one. Let's go back and create a secret now. Before creating the secret, make sure you are logged into your OpenShift cluster. And once you do that, let's copy this command. And in place of Docker password, you'll use the entitlement key which we got earlier. Just copy this key and paste it there. Once we have it, let's go back to the tutorial and grab the rest of the command, which basically gives us the Docker server details. You see the IBM entitlement key is successfully created now. Let us now install Tekton. We will install Tekton using the Red Hat OpenShift Pipelines operator. Before doing that, make sure you are logged into the cluster, and once you logged in, locate your GitOps repository, which is multi-tenancy GitOps. Once you are in that particular repository, let's open the same repository in my editor and look at the customization.yaml which is residing under the services. To do that, go to your editor, open multi-tenancy GitOps. Under that, go to Bootstrap, single cluster, services, and finally customization.yaml. You'll see many resources under it. Scroll down a bit and you should find one for OpenShift pipelines. Make sure you uncomment this particular line, which is Argo CD operators OpenShift pipelines.yaml, and save this file. Once you save this file, let's commit the same changes to the GitOps repository. I'm basically adding all the necessary changes, committing them, and pushing them to my upstream. Now we will activate the services in the GitOps repository. Let's grab this customization.yaml, which is at single cluster level, and check that out. If you remember, in our previous section, we activated infra, and now we are going to activate this services layer. To do that, let's go back to the editor, open my customization.yaml, and now let's uncomment services to activate them. Once you uncommented them and saved them, let's go back to the terminal and commit all these changes to the GitHub repository. I'm basically adding them, committing my changes, and pushing them to the repository. Once you push these changes, Argo should automatically detect them. Let's go back to the Argo CD UI, access the Bootstrap single cluster application. Now you can see two new things showing up, which are services. There is an application and app project here, and now they are synced in. Let's access the services application. If you go there, you'll see the OpenShift Pipelines application installed as well. To make sure your particular Tekton installation is complete, let's make sure it is available. To do that, grab this command to check if the condition is available or not. This is validating whether the OpenShift Pipelines operator is available. You can see that the condition is met. That means the installation is successful. For this tutorial, we need certain components like IBM MQ operator, platform navigator, foundations, etc., which are different services. All these components are part of the services layer in our architecture, and they are basically sitting under the services folder in the GitOps repository. Let's access the customization.yaml. This is the one we previously saw, and these are different components under this customization.yaml. Let's now go back to the tutorial and grab all the necessary services which are required by this particular tutorial. If you observe, These are the required things for this particular tutorial. Let's uncomment them in our customization.yaml and go from there. Let me go back to my customization.yaml and I am uncommenting all the necessary services. Once we uncomment all the necessary services, let's save this file and commit these changes to the GitOps repository. Grab these commands and paste them in your terminal. We are basically pushing all these changes to the GitOps repository. Once you push these changes, Argo CD should automatically detect them. If you remember, we deployed the services application previously as part of Argo CD. And this is the particular application. This will pick up the changes automatically and deploy the rest of the services for you. You can see that the services application is out of sync and it is basically syncing many different applications, and all these applications are the services we just uncommented in the customization.yaml. So it will take some time for all of them to activate. Now you see that the sync is okay and there are couple of applications which are deployed as part of this services layer. You can see different things like Artifactory, IBM catalogs, IBM common services, MQ operator, etc. If we just access the applications, you should be able to see there are different applications under the services. Some of them are healthy and some of them are still progressing. Let's give them some time to completely get installed. Seems like all the resources are healthy now. Let's examine Artifactory application. Let's click on it and look at the Artifactory application. If you carefully observe, you can see different Kubernetes resources under the Artifactory Argo CD application. Like you can observe, there are quite a bit of resources, and that is the reason why it took a while to finish the install. If you are interested, feel free to explore other applications. There are apps like Sonar Kube which you can play with. As part of services layer, we deployed IBM MQ and IBM Platform Navigator. Let's validate them now. Initially, let us check the status of the IBM Platform Navigator. Grab this command, go to your terminal and check the status. If you see the output value true here, that means it is successfully installed. Once you validate this, let's go back and grab the route of the IBM Platform Navigator console. To do that, use this command and grab the route. You will see the host information here. Grab this host information, go to your browser and append it with HTTPS. Ignore those warnings. You can see the UI here. Let's use this option to open it. The username will be admin. To grab the password, go back to the tutorial, use this command, and this should give you the password. Copy the password. Let's go back to the UI and log in. Once you open it, you'll see something like this.